Many thought Galbrena only used guns to fight, a misconception she never bothered to correct and exploited to her advantage. When her guns were knocked out of her hands, it was always by deliberate choice rather than by accident. Her enemies would let their guard down and advance. When they closed in, Galbrena attacked, either by commanding the slippery serpent to fire, or striking with her feathers and even her own blood. In short, hard training and an unbreakable mind have turned her into a formidable weapon. Then why does she bother with guns? Because guns make quick work of enemies from a distance. Galbrena avoids people at all costs. Not that she doesn't know how to interact with others, well-traveled as she is. She simply does not enjoy human contact. If she could get a discount on strangely named beverages by simply shouting their names without haggling, she would gladly do so. Discord slaying is a trait that entails identifying discords, locating their weaknesses, choosing the right weapon, and much more. Galbrena's guns work well on most enemies, but before she wrested them from Chimera's maw, for the longest time she crafted her own weapons. But those weapons could not withstand the power of the dark tide, and often disintegrated. But she never gave up weaponsmithing, and went to invent many single-use items, snares, mines, you name it. In her opinion, monsters must be put down by any means necessary. It's worth noting that although Galbrena is a decent cook, she sees food merely as fuel for the body. Unlike how she deals with tacit discords, she treats all life with respect. To her, making delicious dishes out of the hunted prey is the highest form of respect conceivable. That said, Galbrena doesn't care much about plating, since she has no one to share her food with. Galbrena acquired her flame wing after devouring a particular tacit discord. At first, she had a hard time getting used to flight, and her head was often bruised from crash landings. Now she feels as if she was born to fly. During the day, she loiters in the sky, looking down like an eagle in search of prey. At night, she perches on a high branch, resting and unruffling her feathers, which itself is also a form of weapon maintenance. Her bird-like qualities are not only a habit, but also stem from the need to keep away from people, so as not to cause panic. If, on a peaceful evening stroll through the woods, you come across this Discord Slayer, worry not, she will flee before you do. Weak tacit discords are absorbed as sustenance right after being devoured by Galbrena's hellfire. But powerful ones are not. These frequencies remain inside her body. They talk during the day and invade her dreams at night, fighting her to the death over and over. What awaits them when she wakes is a trial before hellish flames. No one but Galbrena can hear the tacit discords inside of her, so most people find it disturbing when they chance upon her talking to no one in particular, in an accusatory tone with her eyes shut. Maybe Chimera said something inappropriate, or maybe the tacit discords within her are throwing a tea party to plot their revenge. The subject's resonance ability shows prior contamination by the dark tide. The frequency spectrum is heavily obscured and cannot be analyzed via the Rebel method. Based on the subject's own testimony, corroborated by external sources, she is classified as a congenital resonator. Overlord class tacit discords detected within the subject's body. Testing is to be transferred to the Tethys system. All non-essential personnel are to evacuate to designated safe zones without delay. Sample database linked. Comparative analysis initiated. The subject's internal frequency confirmed. partial matches identified with known tacit discords: Chimera, Galbrena, Harpia, Dolahan, Balor, and the nameless Dreadshade. Remaining correlations pending verification. All identified tacit discords exhibit no hostile behavior under suppression by the subject's own frequency. Behavioral stability confirmed under high stress conditions. Final assessment. Containment not advised. Recommendation: routine examinations. The cause of the subject's awakening cannot be confirmed. Her innate flame, once corroded by the dark tide, decayed but was never fully extinguished. Subsequently, it fused with the tidespawn known as Chimera, altering the flame's nature and granting her the capacity to consume other frequencies. Through this process, the subject proactively hunts tacit discords, absorbing and transforming their frequencies into her own power. At present, she is able to wield multiple tacit discord abilities in combat. For demons devoured by her flame, there are only two outcomes: purification and transformation into her own power, or utter destruction. A walking museum of tacit discords. Can such power truly belong to a human? Worse still, it evolves. No, it's an inner empire. I saw it. An empire rising within her. Blackshaw's Bloombearer research report. Despite the immense power Miss Galbrena exhibited after overclocking, including marked transformation of both appearance and physiology, we nevertheless classify her as a historical maximum overclocking rating as negligible. This assessment must be understood in context. Her resonance ability was corrupted by the dark tide, leaving her almost entirely depleted of her resonance ability. For a resonator so diminished to achieve overclocking at all, to move from deficit to surplus, from absence to presence, is nothing short of miraculous. Traditionally, overclocking has been defined as a state that exhausts the mind and body, signifying the dominance of destructive tendencies over regenerative ones within resonators. Galbrena's case, however, compels us to reconsider this definition. In her, overclocking did not manifest as deterioration, but as a signal of rebirth. It suggests that the phenomenon may be closely tied to the will of the resonator, and that if properly guided, overclocking could potentially yield constructive outcomes, transforming into a power that resonators could one day learn to wield with intent. And an important note, all research personnel are strictly prohibited from attempting by any method to replicate Ms. Galbrena's overclocking method. Any such action, once discovered, will result in immediate containment measures. Thank you.